and that's Davy Carter, and he's been doing a great job as chairman of the Revenue and Taxation Committee. There's a lot of people out there wondering, I'm going to call you Mr. Carter. How's that? I have problems saying Davy. I call you Davy when we're just talking, but I'm going to call you Mr. Carter. But the bottom line is this, is that people are wondering why you guys tabled some bills today. I mean, the tax cut groceries, I guess, is now tabled. The used car tax is tabled. It's not killing the bill. You're just saying we'll come back and look at them here in a while, right?
Well, that's right. And to be clear, only one bill was tabled. The other, after that vote to table the used car bill, the other sponsors just presented their bill and didn't ask for a vote.
No, okay.
But I mean, the spirit of your question is right. I mean, yes, we can come back at any time to take those bills off the table, and to be crystal clear on why that was done. It is that we are looking at a lot of tax cut measures, some that more broad-based than others, and the bottom line is we want more than what's presented today. And there's a line of thought that if those three would have come out today, that would have been all. And we're looking for some more broad-based reform. It's not that anybody's against what Senator Baker was pushing for today, or any of those bills that are out there today. And so that's why that was done. And I don't know if John wants to comment on that or not.
Yeah, well, jump right into Jim.
Well, that's the committee that Davy chairs and I serve on is the Revenue and Taxation Committee. And first, we were talking about taxes. The first part of that is revenue. We got new forecast numbers yesterday for the state. The latest up-to-date numbers for February that give us the most recent and best picture on what the state's revenue looks like. The whole tax cut of debates is premised on how much we can afford, and that's dictated by our revenue forecast. And the conversations were had. I don't know that what happened today should have been a surprise to any member. There was lots of conversations of the fact that we just had the most recent revenue report. There's income tax bills that have been filed, one by Representative Carter, that we don't have the impact statements back for. Lots of questions that I think the House committee wants to be responsible and broad in our approach. The House can't afford to be short-sighted in the way that we approach this from any one member's perspective, and we want to approach it from the right direction with the big picture.
All right. Traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the 9s, and we're back. Yeah, we're at the state capitol, Dave Ellswick Show, KARN, and I'm talking to the not-so-minority leader, John Burris, and, of course, we're talking to Davy Carter, who's chairman of the Revenue and Taxation Committee on the House side. Got about 14 minutes after the hour right now. Mr. Minority Leader, we had State Senator Gilbert Baker on, and he was very critical of the committee, and he was very critical of some particular Republican House members. Your thoughts on that?
I think Senator Baker means well. I think he wants what we want, and that's lower taxes. There's always going to be some disagreement on how we get there. I think any criticism of any House member, especially on that Revenue and Tax Committee, is pretty unfair, especially in context of what happened today. It's a tough decision. I think the members of that committee, and specifically the Republicans, have demonstrated better than anybody their desire to cut taxes and hold the line on spending. Well, I think based on the reports I've heard, one member that was specifically mentioned was Stephen Meeks. And we all kind of chuckled. It was so funny when we heard it. It'd be somebody like saying they saw Burris out jogging. That's about. It's like that would deserve about as big of a laugh. I mean, Representative Meeks, in all seriousness, is a candidate that arose out of the Tea Party movement and ran a grassroots campaign and has proved his conservative credentials over and over again. And I don't think, generally, I don't think name calling or calling individual members out is very productive anytime, and especially when it's inaccurate. And Stephen Meeks has done a great job on that committee. I think most of your listeners would admire him and his voting record. I would put Stephen Meeks' voting record up against anybody's. That includes mine, and that includes Senator Baker's.
All right. State Representative Carter, what's your thoughts about, Gilbert Baker. I mean, why would he get so upset about this?
I don't know. I mean, we're all passionate about what we want, and I respect Senator Baker. Everybody does, and we really are all pulling the same way. And there's already been some things, written and blogged and tweeted and all these things out there today about infighting and all these things. I mean, look, they got my utmost respect. And I know everybody else's, and we just all get passionate. And I didn't hear the show, so I don't know any specifics. But at the end of the day, I think everybody, and to defend our, along with John, the House committee, we are very dedicated and have shown that with real action. I think over the last since we came here for some real tax reform. And again, I think it boils down to I think the House is focused on some broad-based, long-term House reform, tax reform, and there's some other ideas out there. Said from day one, there's a lot of good proposals. They all have merit, and they all need to be weighed. And at the appropriate time, we'll pull the trigger. Whether it wasn't today, maybe it's next week, maybe it's next. I don't know. But we're going to take a look at the numbers. We're going to be responsible, and at the end of the day, we're going to do what's best, to the best of our knowledge, for the state of Arkansas.
All right, well, Mr. Minority Leader, is part of the problem that the majority that has had the majority for 100 years are having a hard time understanding that it's not just one party's party anymore, that it's a two-party party?
Maybe, maybe not. I think there's certainly, by I think most people's admission, a little bit more debate going on this session than maybe on other sessions past, and I think a lot of that, more than party, is just a result of almost half new membership in the House, and the type of people that ran for office this year were the type of people that they didn't show up to learn the system; they showed up to change it. And I think you would see I think most of what's going on as a result of that, as opposed to any party, Republican or Democrat.